Most of us consider ourselves far-sighted and long-term thinkers because no matter what, we have goals and plans for our lives. But the reality is that we are deceiving ourselves, and we understand this clearly when we talk to others about their long-term plans and strategies. We're often shocked by the vagueness of these people's plans and feel that they have not been thought through enough. Other people's goals and plans are more like hopes and dreams for us, that after a while they are forgotten among the problems of life. In fact, it should be said that yes, and this is absolutely correct, and most of the time we start moving in one direction in life without planning, and we have incomplete information about that route. And of course, we always deny this fact because we think our decision is different from others, because a clear and logical evaluation of ourselves and the way we make decisions is a difficult task. The best way to overcome this problem is to recognize the signs of myopia and find them in your life. And in this episode, like the previous episodes of the Halo channel, we look for the same signs and find them so that we can overcome it more easily. For example, history is full of countless examples in this case. One of the most important events goes back to ancient Rome. A group of loyalists to the Republic felt threatened by Julius Caesar. They were afraid that Caesar, by establishing his position at the head of the government, would want to establish a monarchy instead of a republic. Until finally in 41 BC, they decided to assassinate Julius Caesar in order to protect the republic from him in this way. But after this incident, rebellion and chaos took over Rome. And due to the overthrow of the power that had spread throughout Rome, Julius Caesar's nephew, Octavius, came to power. And he practically started a monarchy and ended the republic forever. And after Caesar's death, it became clear that he had never intended to establish a monarchy. And in fact, his murderers, because of their short-sightedness, caused an event that they were supposed to prevent. In another example, in the 19th century in India, which was under the British colonial rule, the streets of New Delhi were filled with poisonous cobras, and these snakes had made life very difficult for the residents of the city, especially the British and their families, who were not used to these conditions. The British authorities decided to solve this problem. They decided that for every dead snake, the citizens would hand over, give them an amount as a reward, but sometime later, some enterprising natives started to do something interesting. They'd breed cobras, and by handing over their dead bodies to the government, they would get a reward and make a living with this method. But the government realized this and canceled the program. Now, the snake breeders who were upset by this decision of the government, they released their snakes in the city. And in this way, until the population of snakes in the city becomes 3 times than before. Among other famous examples, we can refer to the 18th Amendment of the Constitution, approved in 1920, regarding the prohibition of the production and sale of alcoholic beverages in the United States of America. The purpose of this law was to prevent the consumption of alcohol, but in the end, it not only reduced the consumption, but also caused a significant increase in the consumption of alcoholic beverages. And as a result of this ban and the increase in the consumption of all kinds of incompetent and dangerous alcoholic beverages in the United States, we can find similar things in the lives of others and ourselves, although with less intensity. For example, we have seen many times that parents create restrictions to control their rebellious child. But in the end, they realize that these restrictions have made the child more rebellious. Or we have seen many times that people who have a depressed friend always try to tell him that life is not that bad and that it has its own beauties and words like that. But in the end, they only make the depressed person feel more guilty about their life and feel more worthless. In fact, not paying attention to the long-term consequences of the decision we make may become a new problem in the future due to the dimensions of our decision. We must remember that every phenomenon in the world is inherently complex, and the people around us are equally more complex. And we should know that things don't always go according to what we think, and we should think about other situations as well. Thank you for watching this video. And lastly, always be careful about your decisions.